Navigating relationships as a teenager is difficult enough, but when you add autism, protective parents, and a well-meaning intervention, things can become even more complicated. Today's story is about a mother who tried to shield her son from heartbreak, but ended up causing more harm than good. Was she in the right, or did she overstep? Let's dive into the story and hear what the community had to say about her actions. Welcome to Fractured Bonds, where every story reveals a deeper truth. As a mother, you want to protect your child from the difficulties of life, and when your child is autistic, that instinct is even stronger. My son Max is 17, and we're so proud of him. He's been through a lot, especially after spending most of his school years in special education. But recently, he's been integrated into general education, and he's thriving. Max has always had a close friend, Lily. They've been inseparable since freshman year, and over time, Max started referring to her as his girlfriend. I knew that Lily didn't feel the same way, but I didn't correct him. I thought he'd figure it out eventually, and I didn't want to spoil the happiness he felt. But things got complicated over the summer. Lily confided in me that she had started dating someone else and wasn't sure how to break the news to Max. She was nervous, and I could see she didn't want to hurt him. I thought I could help, so I offered to talk to Max for her. Lily seemed relieved but also hesitant. She had wanted to talk to him herself. But I convinced myself that I could make things easier for both of them. The next day, I sat Max down and explained that Lily had a boyfriend and didn't see him as anything more than a friend. The moment the words left my mouth, I could see the pain in his eyes. It wasn't just about Lily dating someone else. It was the fact that she hadn't told him herself. "Why didn't she tell me?" he asked, his voice trembling. I didn't have a good answer for him. The next day, Max confronted Lily at school. They had a heated argument, and Max felt like she had been lying to him all along. Since then, he hasn't spoken to her. That night, Lily called me, angry and upset. She asked why I had told Max when she wanted to handle it herself. She felt like I had misrepresented her words, and now their friendship was in jeopardy. Her parents called me later, furious that I had interfered. They told me I had overstepped. My husband, however, thought I had done the right thing. He said Max needed to move on from Lily and focus on his schoolwork. But deep down, I started to doubt myself. Did I overstep? Was I wrong to try to protect Max from heartbreak? The response from the community was overwhelming, with many different opinions. One person shared, "I think you had good intentions, but you should have let Lily talk to Max herself." Now, both of them are left hurt and confused. You may have thought you were protecting Max, but you ended up taking away his ability to process this on his own terms. You didn't just overstep. You took control of something that wasn't yours to handle. This really made me think, had I taken away Max's chance to navigate a difficult but necessary experience? Another parent who had been through something similar said, "I understand the urge to protect, especially when your child is neurodivergent. But by stepping in, you took away the opportunity for Max to learn an important life lesson. Heartbreak is painful, but it's also part of growing up. He could have worked through this with your support afterward, but instead, you shielded him from something he needed to experience. Now, the friendship is damaged, and both Max and Lily are dealing with more hurt than they would have if you had stayed out of it." This comment really resonated with me. A person who has a child on the spectrum commented, "As a parent of a child with autism, I've learned the hard way that we can't always protect them from the world. Max is going to face difficult emotions in life, and while we want to spare them from heartache, we can't shield them from every painful experience. By intervening, you might have created more confusion and frustration for both Max and Lily." This really hit home. I hadn't considered how much I might have hurt both of them by getting involved. One person's comment really opened my eyes. They wrote, "You took away their ability to handle this on their own." Max needed to hear this from Lily because it wasn't just about the relationship. This was about trust. Lily needed to express her feelings, and Max needed the chance to process it. Now, both of them feel like the rug has been pulled out from under them. I hadn't thought about how much trust played into this, and how I had potentially damaged that trust by stepping in. Another commenter pointed out, What you did wasn't just about protecting Max, it was about controlling the situation. You didn't want him to feel pain, but in trying to control the outcome, you ended up causing more harm. Sometimes, we have to let our kids experience hurt, even if it's hard to watch. What Max needed from you was support after the fact, not interference beforehand. This comment made me realize that maybe I had been trying too hard to control the situation instead of supporting Max through it. A really insightful comment came from someone who had been through a similar situation themselves. They shared, "As someone on the spectrum, I can tell you that it's incredibly disheartening when someone speaks on your behalf in situations like this." Max deserved to have that conversation with Lily directly. Just because we're autistic doesn't mean we can't handle difficult conversations. What Max needed was your support after the conversation, not before. Reading this gave me a new perspective on how Max might have felt, and it made me realize that I had taken away his ability to process the situation in his own way. Another parent responded with, "I know the instinct to jump in when we see our kids heading towards something painful, but sometimes we have to let them experience those emotions. You may have thought you were protecting Max, but what you ended up doing was taking away his chance to handle it." This could have been a teaching moment for Max, a chance to learn resilience in the face of disappointment. Now, he feels like Lily lied to him, and she feels betrayed. This comment made me question whether I had done more harm than good. One more commenter said something that really stuck with me. "You didn't just overstep, you broke their trust." Lily wanted to talk to Max herself, but you took that away from her. And now, Max feels like she was hiding something, even though she wasn't. Trust is hard to rebuild once it's broken, and it's going to be a long road for both of them. Hearing this made me realize the magnitude of what I had done. I hadn't just caused a misunderstanding, I had broken the trust between Max and Lily. After reading all these comments, I came to the realization that I had made a serious mistake. In my attempt to protect Max, I ended up causing more pain than I intended. I took away Lily's chance to be honest with Max, and I took away Max's chance to process the situation in his own way. Now, their friendship is fractured, and I don't know if it can be repaired. The hardest part of being a parent is knowing that you can't protect your child from everything. Heartbreak, disappointment, and emotional pain are all part of growing up. By stepping in, I thought I was helping, but instead, I overstepped. Now, I have to find a way to support Max as he navigates his emotions and hope that, in time, he and Lily can rebuild their friendship and trust. With this, the story comes to an end, but the journey doesn't stop here. Thank you for exploring the stories that shape us. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you again soon.